Hey, what do you say? Ready for 40K far away? I think I am. I say I think I am. I know there's probably a few more things I'm not thinking about. But anyway, today I wanted to put together a little video to talk about, first of all, some of the things that I'm not bringing with me that I was sure I would bring with me, but I'm not, either because of space or weight or this or that, and talk about some of the things that I'm using to replace some of those items that I'm definitely not going to bring. First up, the first thing that I'm not bringing is this fishing vest here. But it's got tons of different pockets. Picking this one up, not going to bring it, just going to get uncomfortable, but that's got to go. Stuff. Next thing, speaking of not needing that much stuff, one of the things I've brought on all of my trips over the last couple of years, since traveling with a friend who had one, and I was surprised I hadn't thought about it before, was a single charger, a single multi-USB hub charger. See, this one's got, what, I think 5 ports for USB devices. So that's been perfect because I'll put my wife's phone on one, my phone, my GoPro if I have to charge that, battery pack for our phones, and then nowadays the baby monitors. So I can plug everything into just one USB hub. And that's great, but this kind of takes up a lot of space. And of course, it's got this cord that is like forever long. And so this takes up a bunch of space too because, I have to fit all of that somewhere in my bag. And of course, we're going to be flying all over the world over just a few days, carrying everything on our backs. So I need to take up less space, less weight. That charger is gone. Speaking of less space, less weight, I am going to bring my GoPro. I normally bring my battery charger and extra batteries for my GoPro on trips, but this time around I'm not going to, because normally what I'll do is I'll leave one charging at the hotel during the day and have the other one in the camera while I'm out. Actually, I have 3 batteries, so I usually carry a spare charged battery and then leave one charging back in the case. The reason for that, by the way, is I was over the Grand Canyon with a DSLR years ago in a helicopter, doing a helicopter tour of the Grand Canyon long before Miles and Points, and wouldn't you know it, I got 2 or 3 pictures in, battery in my camera died. And I said, wow, I never want to be in that situation again where I have to miss all the pictures. So I normally carry a few. This time around, though, I'm not planning on staying in places for long enough where I think having the extra batteries charging during the day is going to be practical. So I'm going to have 1 battery each day. That's just going to be the way it is. I also normally, speaking of charging, a lot of the stuff in my bag often has to do with charging electronics. I normally bring one of these little 3-spot power strips. I bring these for airports because, when you're in the airport, if I have lounge access because I'm using my miles and flying in business class, okay, great. There's usually enough outlets. But if I'm in an airport without a lounge or I don't have lounge access for one reason or another, this comes in handy when there just aren't enough power outlets because somebody's plugged in with their phone or whatnot. I can always offer to have them plug in. If they let me plug this in, we can share it. We've got 3 outlets there, 2 USBs on the end. So I often find this useful within the United States. However, I recently got to reading it and I realized that it's only for 120 volts. So I don't think it actually is meant to be plugged into the different voltages overseas. So not bringing that one with me now either. Also on the Juice international adapters on Amazon, there are a dime a dozen, tons of different international adapters on Amazon, and I've had one for a few years. This one, though, I actually like quite a bit. First of all, it's got little sliders on the side for the different types of outlets, US, UK, Europe. So, for example, if you're going to be in the UK, you can slide out the slider and then it just automatically pops it out there. And then it locks automatically, too. There's a button to push it back. So very simple to use, easy to use. But what I really was excited about with this one is that it's got 4 USB inputs on top. Now I have one that had 2, but the 2 that it had were not particularly powerful. This one's got a 2.4 amp and a 2.1 amp. And the 2.4 amp is a smart one, so that's good. It should hopefully charge up my stuff, at least I hope, relatively quickly. So I'm replacing lots of different stuff with this, where I would have to bring the bricks for the wall for different devices, or my USB hub with the long cord on it. This will be a little bit simpler, and I can also plug in my laptop while I'm charging my phone, my GoPro, a battery pack, and whatever the 4th thing that I had in mind was. I don't need the baby monitor this time around. So I know I had something else in mind. So, my watch, my smartwatch. So I can charge everything all at once. Speaking of the smartwatch, got the dock to be able to charge that. I'm bringing the smartwatch because it has worked overseas, so I should be able to pay and carry more credit cards that way in case of an emergency, whatever I think I might need. Got a battery pack, 10,000 whatever it is, MAH. I'm not an electronics guy, but I know that means it'll charge my phone more than once. So I've got one of those that I bring with me, or bringing with me this time around. That one's actually a new one. And then, of course, my laptop charger. I don't think there's anything else particularly exciting in this pocket as far as I remember. Just taking a quick look to see, yeah, no, just cable to charge the battery pack. So that's it in that cable, or that pocket. Then we get to the top front pocket of my laptop here. And up here, I like to keep things that I'm going to need access to quickly, that I'm going to want right away, one way or another, because when this is sitting at my feet on the airplane, this is obviously the easiest pocket to open and get into. So I've got my GoPro in there. Now, the last couple of flights I've taken, I didn't use my GoPro to take pictures, but I generally like to use this to take pictures on the plane of the seats. Not necessarily things like the food, but the seats for sure. This gives you a nice wide-angle view. Excuse me. So I'm bringing that one along with me. Spare wall brick for 2 USB devices. I'm bringing this because when I spoke with Greg, when he and I broadcast recently, I think he was saying that he was a little nervous if he loses one thing, his one wall outlet thing, then he's going to have to find a new way to charge everything. Now, this won't help me in terms of having an international plug-in, but it will give me at least a backup to plug stuff in if need be. I have one protein bar here, nice and close, easy access, so that when I get on the plane, if I'm hungry, I'll have something right away. I've got more in the bag, but one where I can get to it very easily. Altoids, a lot of long flights. I don't want to have bad breath sitting next to somebody. Then cable for my headphones, which I'll pull out in a second. A hotel key, which I'll talk about in one of my videos, why that can come in handy now and then. And a Sharpie. Now, what I like about this Sharpie actually is one end is like a pen and the other end is like a Sharpie. That comes in handy because I'll use the pen for filling out those declaration forms on an airplane when you need to fill out a form before you land. But of course the Sharpie and the thicker end sometimes can be easier for writing stuff down when I want to be able to see something quickly, or I'll hand it to someone to write down information if they have suggestions about places to go and things to do. I love these little things from the Emirates First Class kit, sort of. If you've ever flown Emirates First Class, there's like a mirror or something or other on the desk in front of you, and when you lift that up, there is a little kit with these little sniff boxes. I don't know what you call these things. And so one of them is sleep and one of them is focus, and so I actually find sometimes when I'm like in a different time zone and struggling to adjust a little bit, I take out the sleep one and I don't know, I just like the smell. It's relaxing. I think that I enjoy their brand sense. So I've got that in order to be able to relax at night, fall asleep if I need to. Another thing I have in this top pocket is hair ties. Now, you might say, Nick, what are you doing with hair ties? It doesn't really look like you need them. And it's true, I don't need them for my hair. These were in an amenity kit recently, and I was like, there are so many times when I'm looking for like a rubber band or something, and these came in an amenity kit. I thought, that's great. I'm going to toss that in my bag because I don't know when or why I'm going to need it, but at some point I'm going to need to wrap something around something, and there we go, now I have it. And a couple of SD cards, and I think both of those are actually micro to full SD adapters. So that way, if I have a micro SD card, I can put it into the adapter and pop it into my my laptop. So for example, the micro SD and my GoPro, I can easily then pop it into my laptop. Then let's see, what else do I have? I have got headphones. I normally have USB wireless headphones, a pair of B&O audio ones that I really like, but because I'm traveling for a bit, apart from my wife, and she's going to be using a phone that doesn't have a headphone input, I'm leaving her the Bluetooth ones and bring a wired set that'll plug into my phone. I have an LG V30 Plus, so I'm bringing this wired set with me. That'll be fine. And then in this pocket, I also have my business card holder, and I have an extra wall charger that I got to get rid of now, so I'll take that out of there. And I think that's basically it in here as far as I can recall. Just there. Okay, then down in the front. So that was here. Then if I go way down to the bottom here, the bottom pocket on my my bag. I'll see if I can move around here a little bit. There we go. This bottom pocket is where I keep my passport for easy access when I need to show it when I check in. So passport's in there, and then I have 2 extra cords in here, the GoPro cord, and I told you I keep also a slightly shorter cable for my phone. So I'll keep that in there to be able to use with the battery pack, so I don't have to have that super long cord carrying around in my pockets all the time when I have my phone plugged in. And so that was that. Then this other pocket over here is where I intend to put my water bottle that I hope Greg is going to be bringing to our kickoff in DC, because I think you got another water bottle for me, right, Greg? A 40K water? I hope you have a 40K water bottle for me. If not, I hope I can order one in time. This is where I plan to keep that. I don't generally like to keep a water bottle in any of the pockets of my backpack because I have my electronics in there, but this time around, what can you do? Got to do what you got to do. And in the back here, only thing I have in the very, very back pocket is my laptop. Now this is my old laptop, the one that I was looking to replace because I dropped it at some point and the case is bent. Long story, but at any rate, laptop, this one's big and it's heavy, so it's not ideal. It's going to have a little bit of extra weight, but you know what? It works really well, so I'll be happy to have a machine that works well, at least as long as I don't bump it up and down too much. You know what isn't in here that actually I just realized? I have a little SD card holder that I keep there. Okay, then down in the front. So that was here. Then if I go way down to the bottom here, the bottom pocket on my my bag, I'll see if I can move around here a little bit. There we go. This bottom pocket is where I keep my passport for easy access when I need to show it when I check in. So passport's in there, and then I have two extra cords in here, the GoPro cord, and I told you I keep also a slightly shorter cable for my phone. So I'll keep that in there to be able to use with the battery pack, so I don't have to have that super long cord carrying around in my pockets all the time when I have my phone plugged in. And so that was that. Then this other pocket over here is where I intend to put my water bottle that I hope Greg is going to be bringing to our kickoff in DC, because I think you got another water bottle for me, right, Greg? A 40K water? I hope you have a 40K water bottle for me. If not, I hope I can order one in time. This is where I plan to keep that. I don't generally like to keep a water bottle in any of the pockets of my backpack because I have my electronics in there, but this time around, what can you do? Got to do what you got to do. And in the back here, only thing I have in the very, very back pocket is my laptop. Now this is my old laptop, the one that I was looking to replace because I dropped it at some point and the case is bent. Long story, but at any rate, laptop, this one's big and it's heavy, so it's not ideal. It's going to have a little bit of extra weight, but you know what? It works really well, so I'll be happy to have a machine that works well, at least as long as I don't bump it up and down too much. Where I keep my toiletries, this of course was an amenity kit from a flight. I think this was Emirates first class also, so that's just toiletries, toothbrush, razor, that kind of thing. Then I have an Iberia business class amenity kit, and this is what I'm using for my microphone for our live broadcasts. So my microphone and microphone stand and all the rest of that goes in this Iberia kit, which is nice because it's sort of a flexible material. So I like to have that in there. Also, I think it'll probably keep my mic dry if by chance my clothes and things get wet. I'm hopeful anyway that this will help keep the microphone dry. So that's the amenity kit. Then I got protein. Got my protein bars. I tested a lot of different kinds of protein bars, and the ones I liked really were the ones, the brand is Think. So I got chunky peanut butter, I got creamy peanut butter, I've got brownie, crunchy brownie that is, and I'd like to get a couple of other ones. I think it's Bob's or something like that, or no, not Bob's. Red Mill, I think is what it is. Has some oats, like peanut butter and oats ones that I think are a little bit better in the morning anyway, because I don't really want something chocolatey when I first wake up. But these have been very filling. They're pretty tasty, relatively speaking, for protein bars anyway. So that's what I'm bringing there. And then I have, socks and clothes. So I've got a bunch of pairs of socks. And I'm bringing a pair of Uniqlo pants. Now, if you're not familiar with the brand Uniqlo, I think I'm pronouncing it right, UNIQLO. They make really warm stuff that's super lightweight. So I'm bringing this pair of pants because it's really warm. So if I get a chilly day, chilly weather, these will keep me warm. They're also really comfortable, so they're good to sleep in too. It's like pajama pants if it's cool enough. If you have air conditioning and can make it cool enough, then we'll have that. So I'm bringing that for dual purpose there. Then I have a bathing suit just in case I get to go swimming. So swim trunks. I have a bag because I figured, maybe I'll end up with something that's wet, like those swimming trunks, or I just might not want to have everything in one place, have something more easily accessible, maybe toss something in the overhead and have something just smaller underneath my feet in front of me. So I have a little bag for that from the Conrad Bora Bora that they've given us there. So that bag will come with me too, folded up so that I can use it. Then as far as other clothes, of course I've got, undergarments that I won't pull out here, but I have just a few t-shirts. So I got one t-shirt, I think 4 t-shirts, right? 2 t-shirts. This one actually I like because it's got a nice mesh back to it, almost like a basketball jersey on the back. Perfect for really hot weather, so if I was going to be somewhere warm, I could wear that along with the swimming trunks. But if I'm going to be somewhere cold, then I have the Uniqlo pants. So a couple of different things there. Like I said, a few t-shirts. And then I have also a Uniqlo Heat Tech turtleneck. So this I like because it's super lightweight, so it doesn't feel like you're carrying something really heavy or wearing something really heavy, but it's decently warm. So I got a nice little turtleneck there too for cold weather. Then another t-shirt it seems, so I don't know if I counted how many I had there. Then a pair of shorts. I went with pair of shorts. I think I just got these at like TJ Maxx, but I like them because they're like Quicksilver or something. They feel like they're going to dry really fast, and they have so far. Hand washed them once and hung them up, and they dried really fast. So great material for quick drying, which would be good for laundry. Also quick drying, I have a pair of pants that are like what you would get here if you were to buy fishing pants at like a sporting goods store, and that's because they have pant legs that zip off. So that way this can be a pair of shorts or a pair of pants, just zip them off. So if I'm somewhere where it's cool in the morning and then warmer later in the day, then I can have shorts on later in the day. Start the day with pants, end the day with shorts. So it's nice to have a couple of options. So that gives me 2 pairs of pants in one. I like it because it's got one pocket with a zipper, so I can put like a wallet or anything important in a pocket that's zipped up, but then one traditional like cargo pocket too, so I can get to stuff that I just want quick access to there. This particular pair I think I bought in South Africa, going on safari a couple of years ago. I had an LL Bean pair like that for years too. So that's that. I think that's everything. That's what I'm bringing with me. So hopefully I've got everything that I need, because that's it. And it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but I put it all on, I weighed it. It's about 25 pounds, which I know is kind of pushing things a little bit, so I'm just hopeful that it doesn't get weighed if I fly a budget carrier. But otherwise, I think it's going to be pretty good. I walked around with it a little bit just to see how I felt, and it felt comfortable enough. The backpack is pretty comfortable, so that's what I'm bringing. That's what's in my pack. So we've seen what Greg is bringing. Now you've seen what I'm bringing. Mr. Pepper, Stephen Pepper, calling you out. What are you going to bring with you, bud? Tell me. I want to know what I've forgotten to pack. All right, guys. Thank you. I'm going to see you guys here pretty soon. I look forward to the 40K far away.